Now let's dive deep into this big LGBTQ story for today. I'm Bonnie Builder, and let's queer up drag culture. RuPaul and Joan Rivers' crystal ball predicted 2025 Trump America on Gay in 2013. RuPaul warned us in a resurfaced 2013 interview with Joan Rivers. Mama Ru broke down America's political pendulum, talking about the cultural.
You know, throughout our culture, there are little windows and pockets of time when people are open. You know, after 9/11, there was this hostility and a fear that was just in the air, right? And, you know, after that died down and you know, Obama got into office, it's not because of Obama, but Obama is a result of this openness that happened. And I think the success of our show is a part of that openness. Now, obviously, in the late 70s, there was an openness with dancing, and people were willing to, to move below the waist. And obviously in the 60s, there have been little pockets. Actually, when I first hit the big time in 93, there was a small window, but those windows close, they open, they close. And I think that is why we're experiencing that right now. And I think that's why our show is successful. But it will close again. It's not always that way.
You really think it would close again?
Absolutely. That's the history of mankind. I can't believe, I mean, during the 80s, I couldn't believe some of the things that people, even gay people, became very conservative during the 80s, you know?
And the 2024 election shows he was right. The vibe has shifted, diversity initiatives are fading, billionaires are rallying behind conservatism, and Trump, yes, that Trump, won the popular vote. Even young men who once leaned liberal swung right. Meanwhile, a certain sect of gay men are embracing MAGA, providing that in America, the pendulum always swings back. Of course, RuPaul's words also mean that this too will pass. With dedication, hard work, and time, the LGBTQ community will see better days. I have to believe that the pendulum will swing the other way, or else we will just go into full despair from here on out. I still have faith in this country. Those who have been swayed one way, either because of Kamala's inaction with the Gaza situation, that's what I heard a lot about, like the gays who voted for Trump or voted third party, which is fucking stupid, or didn't vote at all. That was like the big point that they brought up. I truly believe that we have a chance to bring it back the other way. We just cannot run in fear. This is a huge thing that I keep hearing, and it's one of the most frustrating points that aggravates me. Because you are frustrated with the current state of our country is not a good enough reason to up and leave. I use this analogy a lot. If there is a crack in your wall in your home, if there is something wrong with your house, do you just up and move to another house? No. You dedicate time and funds to fix what is wrong with your home.
Amen. This
is my home. I ain't going no goddamn motherfucking way, and you not gonna push me no motherfucking way. We gonna find a way to fix this shit. This is a dark time, but this is not the first dark time America has faced. We have faced many issues like this in the past. This is why you need to learn about your history, okay? We have dealt with assholes like Trump. We have dealt with assholes worse than Trump, and we have come out on the other side better than before.
Yeah.
So please take the words of RuPaul, certain words of RuPaul, and do understand that we will swing the other way. It is possible. You just can't get up and leave, and you cannot give up.
Yeah, no, I'm not going anywhere. One, I miss Joan Rivers so much, right? Just
Yes.
seeing that clip right there, it's like,
yeah.
coño, man, she would have had such a great time with the present administration, with the, but, this video kind of gave me hope, right? Because, again, RuPaul's there talking about the 80s, right? And how horrible it was, right? I wasn't around during that time. I don't know. Well, I can't even imagine. I can't imagine losing people.
The worst.
I can't imagine that, right? And the fact that, like, right now with RFK and what he wants to do and, roll back things and not give our brothers, the pep and the prep that they need to stay safe. That scares the living hell out of me, okay? Because boys don't use protection and they want us to cancel ourselves out, So, anyway, but just watching him, his fear of the 80s and him remembering how the 80s were and them saying, but we're sitting here right now, Joan, and look where we're at,
He's
right?
a survivor, right?
So, like Bonnie said, like we did it that time and it wasn't the first time. Anita Bryant just died. She was somebody who was so against us and was, a flagrant hater of our community and said everything possible and did everything possible to not have us have our rights here in South Florida, right? And, there's going to be others that are going to come and we're going to have to fight them too. But like Bonnie, I'm not going nowhere.
When you say you weren't around for the 80s, you mean like location wise or?
Really, Bonnie, that's what you're gonna get. I was 5. So like, there's not really like I would be able to know what was going on around me.
Okay. So you were still there though. Okay. Just want to be sure.
Okay, so I've been sounding this alarm for the past 3 years. The pendulum does swing, and I've been telling people sitting at this table, listening to liberals and conservatives, I am not a conservative, I'm not a Republican, I'm not a Democrat. I move between all the circles. I have very good friends on all sides of this issue. When our side was going so far left and telling people, no, you're what I tell you you are, and you can't have another opinion on it, and yelling at them and telling them that they're stupid and ignorant, all I was thinking was like, oh my God, shut up. This is such fuel for the fire that you are going to get the backlash. And that always happens. This is what he was talking about and what Joan Rivers was talking about. As soon as you start demonizing another side, it just fills them with rage until they organize enough to give it back to you. The best example of how our community dealt with a major issue was gay marriage. With gay marriage, that should be the model for us. We didn't yell at people like, you're such a bigot, you're this and that. What we did, we showed our stories. We're like, look, this is my friend. I want to see him when he's in the hospital. He died because I couldn't be there. People will start to have empathy for whatever marginalized group it is.
So you want them to feel sorry for us?
I want them to realize that because they don't realize the pain that it inflicts on us because they're not part of this.
They don't
community.
realize that we're human either. They don't consider us. They consider us subhuman. Do you understand?
No, that is not true.
Okay.
The administration might feel that way, but the people, by and large, that voted for him, not the core MAGA, but I even know core MAGA that love gay people. All right, it's not so.
Yet they voted against us, though.
Yeah. But that's because they weren't thinking about our issues. They had other issues that they were voting. That's their top priority. One example: a woman I know who loves the gay men, always around gay men, talking about RFK, and RFK put out something about poppers causing AIDS, not HIV.
How crazy is that?
And she's an engineer. I'm telling you, a smart ass woman. And so I said, what are you talking? This guy's crazy. So then she sends me some articles that's on RFK's website. And I just look at the date of them. It's like 1983. All right, when they didn't even know what AIDS was, you know?
Yeah, he was the only one saying that back.
So I put that out. I said, are you not seeing how they're trying to manipulate you?
Right.
Like, I understand you did some research and you quoted some stories, but look at what it was. They are trying to pull the wool over your eyes. And now that you can see that, you know not to trust these people. And they just need to be pointed in a loving way and as much as you can. There's times to march on the street, but when it comes to people, you let them know they will have empathy for you and they will vote and the pendulum will.
I used to believe that. I don't believe that so much anymore. I have people very close to me who voted against my rights, basically. And I used to think maybe they just don't understand, or if you come to them like softly and stuff like that. No, they have adamantly made up their mind what they are prioritizing, despite how we bring it to them. I do understand your point. There are people who are naturally contrarian, and so if you push one way, they're going to go the other way because they're tired of you raising your voice at them. I do understand that point. But coming to them in a certain way, we've done that. We have absolutely done that to a large population of people, and they have decided, I hear you, I see you, but I'm not going to follow what you want because my wants and needs come first.
But they also don't believe, and I mean, I honestly wasn't sure how far that they were going to take it. So like, they would say, you guys have gay marriage, you have your rights, right? That's not going to get taken away. Now what we see with the unraveling of what's happening, I do think that things are going to change in their minds. Even just the things that they were promised, I think they're starting to see a little bit like, wait, I don't know if what these promises, if they're going to come to fruition, that this is an actual circus.
Yeah. But by the time they understand that and they see that clearly, it'll be too late.
Well, that's why we need to help them.
And I won't have my marriage anymore.
We have to help them.
Well, I don't think a population doesn't have enough humility to back down or at least admit the mistake they've made.
They will never.
Well, we raised our voices in the 80s.
Yes, we did.
And we called attention to the crisis. And so many people would not be alive today if we had not
That's right.
been out
Yeah,
there
of course,
marching
we
so
do
many
need
people
to.
raising our
But
voices.
so many people also
That's
died
right.
during that time that
Right.
didn't get the proper education or
Right.
care that they could have gotten.
Right. But I mean, there are times when you do have to speak up.
Of course. And that pendulum is a historical thing. It always happens. So just keep that in mind.
Well,
All right. Well, that is the big LGBTQ story for today. We'll be watching that pendulum come back. All right, for sure. There is no other queer nonprofit media platform like this in the entire world. Support our LGBTQ stories by subscribing and sharing Queer News Tonight.